But what I was doing is removing the old fuel cell mount, which is gone. It's on the floor there. I think it was in one of the episodes I had, or on Instagram, when I had a little bit of a gap, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna weld over that, and I welded over it, and it pulled one of those bars, and then the fuel cell would not fit in anymore. But I left these two pieces because they kind of locate the fuel cell, and that way all the hard lines work, which, you know, in hindsight, hard lines are cool, but yeah, then I can't do anything with the fuel cell because those hard lines basically fit one way and that's it. But that's fine. What else? Oh, tube got prepped pretty good. There's just a shy spot there, which when it gets painted, that'll cover it up, or if the new frame is anywhere near it, that will also... Anytime, camera. Anytime. There you go. Maybe like a few thousandths under. So once it gets painted, you'll never see it. I kind of blended those edges. I didn't show cutting it down. Basically what I do is I use, when there was a little bit of material here on the end, instead of just going at it with a tiger paw, I use the edge of a cutting wheel. And a lot of people are like, oh, you can't grind with a cutting wheel. You can if you keep it perpendicular to whatever you're doing. You can't use it like a grinding wheel because then it will blow up on you. But if you use the edge, see if I can get this in here. If you use the edge like this and just go over whatever you're doing, it cuts through it a lot faster. Then come back, blend it with that, and then really blend it with sand cloth, which I use sand cloth on this, use sand cloth on the corners, and it just, I don't know if you can catch it in the camera. It, yeah, I know this isn't body work, but I can't stand seeing chassis that people made modifications to, and you can see all the cut marks where they gouged into it and went too hard to get the stuff off. And basically, it's called sneaking up on it, which it's funny, I had an apprentice at work the other day, and I mentioned to him that we were going to sneak up on this piece of pipe we were putting in, and he looked at me confused and just said, what do you mean sneak up on it? It's, well, you just take a little bit, take a little bit, take a little bit, take a little bit until you get it right where you want it, and then you use sand cloth, a tiger paw, anything like that to kind of finish it off, and basically once it gets painted or whatever, you'll never see it. But yeah, other than that, just need to make a new fuel cell mount and continue on. I need to get some gussets ordered for the front here for the two shock mounts, and hopefully maybe I'll call my buddy tomorrow and borrow his mag drill to punch out all the holes in the front subframe, or the front frame rails, to mount the front subframe finally. So for now, that's what's going on, and I would do some welding, but if you follow me on Instagram, you can see my welder is peeing all over the floor because the thermodynamics TIG cooling fluid that I use, I thought was glycol based. It's not. It just has, I believe, 0.1% glycol in it. So when it got down to negative 15 or negative 20, yeah, the thermodynamic stuff's only rated for plus 10 Fahrenheit. So I think it's just this hose. I can get a replacement hose, but then when I came out here from this weekend, I can see this hose is soaked, but I don't know if it's from this leaking on it or it just did it itself. So I don't know. Might get a new piece of hose, see if that works. If that doesn't, then I gotta order whole new cooling lines for that. So that's awesome. But yeah, hopefully more videos soon, and we'll see.